Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show.
We're good.
We are good.
The sound
Brent,
is good. I feel good. You look good.
of course, played well with no
I
rain.
like our chances. The Wade and Carter weather here in the Ats and Offer studio. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by, had I pirated the camera to prefer me? A little bit more. There you go. Always one for equal time. Ash demanding. I'm going to get you a little box to stand on. Wade and Carter weather brought to you
Because the balance was off. You had too much shoulder room and I didn't have enough. And it was just visually wasn't.
Max headroom.
Yep.
The weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Feed. 72 degrees in Victoria, Texas under sunny skies. No real chance of rain. Well, yeah, tonight. Starting tonight. A little chance of rain, 50%.
Thunderstorms overnight.
Yeah. And then a high today of 87. And man, it was hot yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
And there was just enough moisture in the ground that as that evaporated, it was just like living in a sauna.
Although I thought Sunday was worse than yesterday. But
Sunday I was in a pool.
So was
I didn't notice it.
But I had to be in the pool Sunday because when I was out of it, I was like sweating.
Welcome into the Atzenoffer studio, where for over 100 years, Atzenoffer has been a South Texas tradition. Ever since Ed Atzenoffer sold the first Chevy 500, which I think the rumor was it was a $500 car.
Yeah, it might have been. I'm not sure exactly.
What a coincidence.
Certainly wasn't the horsepower back then.
You can go by today and buy the Chevy Silverado, $89,000. That's what it costs to buy a pickup.
My pre-owned vehicle of the week on the lot. Saw it this morning. They got a nice looking red Ford Edge SUV.
An Edge?
I have no idea what the mileage, anything. It just looked nice sitting there. So that'll be my vehicle.
They have
Dinah, go see the rest of the gang over there and make it yours today.
Ford Escape.
Escape?
We call it Escape here in South Texas.
Yeah.
Speaking of South Texas, what do you make of? It's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Stephanie Connie, Marvin Mickers, Greg Garcia on the podium this morning.
What do you make of this Cornyn-Paxton race? The president jumping in and supporting Paxton. He said, I think he'll be good. I think he'll win. Okay. I mean, is he a handicapper or did he actually support someone based on substance? I don't know.
Well, and what I found interesting was CBS News was talking to Cornyn, and he said if he doesn't win, the down ballot races could be in jeopardy.
Yeah, I don't get that. Is he thinking that everybody's going to go in and vote for like the Democrat ticket?
I don't know. Or they won't vote for who he thinks should win down ballot. I don't know. I didn't.
Well, the
comment made no sense to me for Cornyn. It's not like anybody goes in and votes. Well, I want to see who Cornyn puts his weight behind on all these down ballot races. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
No, nobody cares.
He's scared.
Blows my mind that Cornyn's going for like a fifth term. I think this guy's been in office since Reagan, and that doesn't mean that you need to change. It just means that I can't think of anything. Thank you, Dana Moore. I can't think of anything that John Cornyn's done for me. And when you have to say, I voted with the president 99% of the time, is that your way of saying, I'm not just a yes man. If I don't agree with him, I'll vote against him. And what did he vote against? What were the issues? I have no problem telling you that James Tallarico is a terrible candidate. Talking about God being non-binary, talking about that there's 7 identifiable sexes. This guy's a moron. And at the end of the day, it's a clown show that he ever got into Texas state politics. He's just a little false prophet, weirdo goofball. I'm sorry. There I go calling people names. I only have an hour to explain to you just how terrible this clown is. What did Cornyn show me some of his?
Well, he says he passed the most bills into law last Congress. Apparently, he introduced
Lake and Riley. That's
Act
good.
in the Senate, Senate Bill 5.
He added an amendment to mandate the detention of illegal immigrants who assaulted law enforcement officers. I mean,
that doesn't always happen.
No, it's pretty fundamental common sense.
Yeah, you would think. ICE protection he introduced to combat unprecedented surge in vehicular attacks on law enforcement. Introduced the I-47 Future Interstate Act, which would designate US 287 as Interstate 47.
I mean,
or the Trump Interstate. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one.
You know, big deal.
And codified a presidential order to rename the Anahuac National Wildlife Refuge near Houston in memory of Jocelyn Nungaray, the girl who was killed by an illegal. Speaking of Trump,
it's all fun, superficial stuff. I mean, good for him. I'm glad he did that. He hasn't done anything to reform our tax situation. He hasn't done anything to lower the expenses of government.
No, and in fact,
and I'm not sure Paxton will either. I'm just pointing out
Dwayne Stovall's accusations that illegally raised money and did some shady things when he ran against him last.
Cornyn did.
So, yeah,
I trust Dwayne Stovall. I think he's a fine man, and I know he's been a great friend of the program. I look at Paxton somewhat sympathetically because Paxton does have some smoke around him. He has been accused of, I mean, the SEC went after him for like insider trading stuff. Yeah. And he was really, they went after him because he was promoting the sales of something
without a license,
shares and without telling people he was being compensated to do so. Yeah. Like, say, hey, Ash, I happen to know this is a pretty good investment. And you're thinking, wow, he's a big cat political insider. So you vote the way you go buy what he tells you to buy, only to find out later that 20% of that went to him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I don't recall Chuck Woolery telling anybody he's being paid to sell reverse mortgages to a bunch of old people.
Except that Chuck Woolery is not a political figure, and he's also passed, hasn't he? Don't you feel bad about that?
I don't think he has he?
Chuck Woolery. What was that? Love Connection?
Yeah, that one. Pat. There were a couple others.
Chuck was cool. I like Chuck Woolery.
The Dating Game, wasn't he on the Dating Game?
I don't know.
Ricky King, Scott Snow, Rena Scherer, good morning. Good morning, Marina. Mark Kurtz, Crystal Mapp.
Hey, Mark.
Lisa Poole, P. Strauss, Bobby Leister, Andrew Alvarez, Tammy Keeling, Mark Zapata, Scott Tomko, Justin Glass, John Anderson, Junior Samples, Dana Moore, Deli Garza.
Dana Moore pointing out my Astros gear. Astros at the First State Bank of Louise. Astros update. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Well, Astros last night combined for a no-hitter, the 18th no-hitter in Astros history.
First since 2024 in the major leagues.
Which was also a first combined no-hitter?
I think just the first no-hitter in the majors since 24.
Is that right?
Well, because nobody pitches more than 5 innings anymore, so it's pretty,
That's like Arrighetti the other night. They let him go 7 1/3. He had 1 out in the 8th, and then he gave up a hit, and then they took him out. You've got to let him go, though, right? If you're throwing a no-hitter.
I would think, yeah.
But how do you say it? Amai? There's our state rep, House District 30 rep, AJ Louderback. Good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well.
9-0 Astros win it yesterday. Astros
really look good. Christian Walker has found his bat. He's really hitting with a little more pop, and he is an artist to watch at first base. He's on pace again to have another Gold Glove this year. They also had Yordan Alvarez hit a ball last night that exited the stadium at 110 miles an hour, and I'm talking about this. Whack, boom, it's in the bullpen. I mean, it was like gone, like a line drive, never got over 10 feet off the ground. He hadn't even made it to first base yet when the ball was already deposited in the seats.
Amai walked 3 of the first 4 he faced.
Dawn was screaming at the television. Dawn, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. She was going, skip Sugarland and send that guy all the way to Corpus Christi, $18 million a year. He's terrible. He's got to go, learn how to pitch in America. And then he got out of the inning. By the way, he walked 3 out of the first 4 with the Pena turned a beautiful double play. They had runners at first and third and yada, yada, yada. And they finally got out of the inning without giving up a run. And we're already up 1-0. So they let him stay. Don said, there's no way they send him back for the second. And they did. And then he was 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. I mean, he pitched great after
retired his last 16 batters.
Maybe, just maybe, that kid just turned the corner. And
here's something interesting. Olimber Santa finished off the game, became the first player in Major League history to be involved in a no-hitter in his Major League debut.
Good for him.
Yep.
He thinks it's all easy now.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's all uphill from here.
You got the final 6 outs. Good. Maybe the bullpen will shore up, but the Astros have now won, 4 in a row? They swept the Cubs.
Hi, Mom.
Took the first one from the Rangers up at, Globe Life Park?
But here's the problem. It's the Cubs and the Rangers. I mean, the Rangers, we talk about and we bemoan.
But the Cubs were like 12 games above 500 before the Astros went in there.
Yeah, Bregman got a hit too. I saw it. You look back, and we said it back when it happened that the Rangers were a one-trick pony. In fact, the Rangers should have broken up that team right after the World Series. Evaldi, they should have traded all those guys because they weren't that good. They didn't even win the division that year. And they snuck in and won a World Series, and bully for them. But they're not a program like the Astros are.
And the Astros now only 3.5 back in the horrible AL West.
Yeah, the AL West. You've got a 500 club. The Oakland Athletic, or the whatever they are, California
Sacramento?
Athletics,
Just
27 and 27. That leads the division. That's just, by any chance, by any standard, that's just not good baseball. But the Astros on their upswing, winning 4 in a row. Pitching, riding good pitching.
Yeah,
Hunter Brown yesterday pitched in Corpus. He threw something like 35 pitches, not something like, here's what he did. 35 pitches, 21 strikes. He gave up 2 hits, I think, or 2 innings. He struck out 5. Out of 6 outs, he struck out 5. Hunter Brown is a gem. If he's healthy,
they need him.
He's a star. Now,
Cubs, by the way, have lost 9 in a row. They were 29 and 16 when the skid started.
So, what are you going to do at the end of this season? Isn't it at the end of this season that Hunter Brown becomes a free agent?
I believe so. Yes.
Are you going to spend the long dollar to sign that guy, or are you going to look around and go, Walker's not a kid, Paredes isn't a kid? Altuve's geriatric.
Well, I think they're getting that. Let's be. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with this right now. The injuries have shown that the Astros don't have the depth anymore. It used to be next man, and maybe they're turning around. I don't know. Maybe it just took a little while to get all these guys that are, the injury replacements used to big league pitching and playing as a big leaguer and used to big league life instead of riding the buses. But
Hi, Torrin Bales.
I'm glad to see him playing better baseball.
So if I give you the pin, you're Dana Brown. And do you trade some of these young guys, the DeCenzos, the Shoemakes, maybe even the Cam Smith?
Well, here's the thing. I looked real quick the other day. I didn't take paper to pen, but I did a quick glance. I think the Astros are still top 10 in their offensive production, despite being at the time when I looked at it at the start of the Cubs series, they were, I think, 10 games below 500 or something.
So
like
don't we just need better pitching?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So if that's the case,
how do you let Hunter Brown walk?
You can't. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Or do you say, well, we're going to have a down decade and we'll rebuild?
I don't think. Jim Crane came in, and I remember talking to him, interviewed him actually at Academy, because the Astros used to do their caravans, right? And they came through Victoria, and he said,
I thought you were really going to say that Jim Crane walked into an academy and you stalked him, and you called it an interview and he called it a nuisance.
Yeah. Police were there. They made sure.
Was there an audience? Oh, yeah. Were you in cuffs? Yes, I was.
And then I collapsed, so they had to carry me and drag me out.
And dragged your knees out. Now they're building a statue for you. Hi, Bruce Woods. By the way, just over the weekend, George Floyd, 6 years sober.
But he wanted to build a winning team and a team that contend, and he knew what it took. But I don't think he wants to rebuild a winning team. I think they want to try and stay on the cusp of being competitive, and that's going to be hard.
Here's the problem,
especially when you're paying $30 million to Altuve.
These guys that come in, I think it's 35. I could be wrong. These guys come in and they've got endlessly deep pockets. I mean, Jim Crane is a billionaire. So while we talk about, $100 million payroll or whatever, and we go, well, that's still a lot of money. Well, but don't forget, the Astros, for about 5 seasons in a row, have led the major leagues in like merchandise sales and all that stuff. And the Astros are a wealthy, big market program. And at the end of the day, so their opening day payroll is $228 million, which is down from 25, which was 245. I mean, unbelievable. So at any rate, the Astros, if Jim Crane has to subsidize the team a little bit, that's like if you're a golfer, put new batteries in your cart. Yeah. It's what you have to do. Are you going to play the game or not? And at the end of the day, these guys all come in about, all I want to do is win. I'm going to invest the money. And then they start running it as a business. And at the end of the day, they're like, well, I'm having to come out of pocket $20 million this year. Yeah, but are you? Because what you bought for $400 million is now worth $800 million.
But that's unrealized gains.
Yeah, well, they'll tax you on it, won't they?
Well, the Dems want to, yeah.
But I'm saying it's a zero-sum game. Yeah. I think you owe it to me to put the best team you can on the field.
I agree. That's the way I feel about sports teams. But it seems like as they tried to spend money on certain players, the team's fortunes on the field have not gone the way they wanted to, right?
But, unless they're going to do a really hard cap and tell teams like the Los Angeles Dodgers, you can't have Shohei Ohtani and Freeman and Tucker because you're just subsidizing it with money out of somebody's pocket.
Yeah. Well, they have a cap, but then they have, then they fine the teams that spend over it as a luxury tax, and the Astros have had to pay that a couple of years, but still, it's no deterrent.
But it's all about money.
Yeah.
And it is all about money. What did Ricky King ask you? He's a baseball man. I'm wondering how the Astros are going to be when they get all their players back that are on the DL. I think they should be really good.
I think so. I mean, Correa's gone for the year. He won't come back.
And you know what? Remember, you and I both were like, well, what are you going to do? You got Paredes, you got Pena. Boy, Jeremy Pena flashed some leather over the weekend. What a great shortstop he has become.
I mean, it solves that problem, right? You no longer have to figure out what to do with Chris Walker.
He's a
scud missile
star
against the Cubs in that 8-5.
Oh, yeah. And his glove work is so good.
But all of a sudden, Correa gets hurt. I mean, you're paying him $19 million a year to be on the DL, but it solves your problems. You're no longer wondering.
And you didn't take any kind of a production, retreat. Yeah. Yes, I liked Correa at short, although Pena gets to balls Correa can't get to anymore. Well, but Correa's got a better arm.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? But Correa can play shallow left field and gun you at first.
Well, he could have before they, disallowed.
But yesterday, Jeremy Pena ranged to his to his right, dove, caught a ball, got up, and threw the correct throw, the one hopper to first. And when Christian Walker picked it, you see him just look over at Pena, and he just kind of grinned at him like, I got you.
They're having fun
again. They're having fun again, and when the Astros have fun, they win.
4-game winning streak, and they're still 24-31, but they're only 4.5 games back.
There you go. So that's
AL West sucks.
Elongated and way overdue. First State Bank of Louise Astros.
Wow, they've been so bad, it's been hard to talk about them.
70 years First State Bank's been in business, and for 70 years, they've been there, the little bank that can. I mean, they're big enough to get your job done. They're small enough to know you by name. And just go by and see them. Free checking, free savings, and they will help you with your commercial lending needs. It's a big bank.
Yeah. Hockey half minute, real quick. Golden Knights could eliminate the Colorado Avalanche tonight.
Man, the Knights are up 3-0
on that one. Carolina won in overtime the other night and lead that series 2-1 over Montreal. That series resumes tomorrow. So
where
there
the
you
Flames?
Go. Where the Astros are, 8 million games under 500.
Where are the Rangers?
Oh, they're both terrible. Picking 4th, 5th, and 6th in this year's draft. That's where the Rangers.
They're not even on that bracket.
No, they did not make the playoffs. Both teams suck.
Speaking of brackets, you see where the NCAA baseball came in? I think there's like 247 teams in the playoffs. The SEC has 13 of their 16. Rena, 13 of their 16 teams in the NCAA. Rena says, next.
Yep.
Sorry, Rena. Scott Talko says, I seen that coming.
Who were the only teams that didn't make it? Vanderbilt and LSU, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe Kentucky? I don't
Did the Spurs win, Monty Howard? I don't know. I think that they even the series 2-2.
Yeah, they walloped them by like 40.
An old wallop. Speaking of wallop, the Knicks going back to the NBA Finals for the first time in, I don't know.
Since Patrick Ewing was alive?
Yeah, since 99, 27 years.
Since Doc Gooden played for him?
Right, with Darryl Strawberry, a small forward. The Knicks going back after winning yesterday like 130-something to 90-something.
They swept the Cavs. Who saw that coming?
I don't know.
Well,
Is
not me, 'cause I
LeBron
don't
still
watch-
with the Cavs? No,
No.
he's with the Lakers.
I don't care because I don't watch the NBA. Although Wembyana guy is kind of making me want to watch him again.
Yeah, but I just
He's
can't
good,
do
but
it.
I can't. No.
But you know, when you watch, I'll tell you something that's not basketball, and it's you can play an entertaining game and you can call it a game, but the NBA is not basketball. They never call traveling. Nobody ever takes a charge.
Remember you and I were right before the playoffs started, I think. We watched the guy. He took an inbound pass, 6 steps.
He ran until he gathered himself. Like you got to put that ball on the ground at some point, dribble.
And that's why I cannot watch
I
the
can't
NBA
watch
anymore.
it. And then you've got guys from Oklahoma City that a guy will jump and he'll shoot like I'm hitting Ash, and then he falls to the ground. It makes the WNBA look like an Iron Man competition.
And he gets fouled.
And he gets
for 3.
He gets 3 free throws for that. It's just unbelievable. And people say that LeBron's the greatest ever, and LeBron's the biggest flopper since Bill Lane Beer. Michael Jordan would average 60 points a night in today's NBA. He would average 60 points a night.
No, because he doesn't go to the free throw line enough. He's not a flopper and he avoided contact, so he had a good shot. So yeah, so
his legacy is so secure. When you watch these guys, LeBron should have quit about 4 years ago and left a little mystery, but he wanted to play with his kid. That's just how the NBA is now. Oh, get my son in here. I want to play with him.
Yeah. How about these enhanced games going on in Vegas, where I think the winner of every event gets $1 million or something like that?
Yeah,
it's apparently the guy that won the sprint, the 100 meters. Blew everybody away. He says he's clean. He just wanted to go there and prove a point.
A swimmer did the 50-meter freestyle and won in world record time, but he's on he got out and he went, they said, how do you feel about your race? And he went, Wilbur. I mean, he's on some kind of Diana ball or something, but they're all on, those guys are all
allowed to be on steroids. They're allowed to be on testosterone. The caveat, according to them, is they have to be medically supervised
and FDA approved.
Yeah, and FDA approved.
Can you see like Dr. Kevorkian getting everybody's shots? Andrew Alvarez says curling is better than the NBA. I agree. Monty Howard points out John Stockton was a flopper, but John Stockton was also one of the dirtiest players in the history of the NBA. Torrin Bales points out that
from Spokane,
Washington. MJ was the best ever by far. 100% agree. And Junior, I love Caitlin Clark. I do too. I think that Caitlin is way ahead of the women's game.
Yeah, but I think what's going to hurt her injury. She didn't play much this year.
Well, they beat her to death, partly because she's white. True story. I mean, they just beat her up. What do you make of this Middle East thing? This skirmish?
Oil prices down because apparently Iran I did see something over the weekend that Iran apparently are close to agreeing to no longer stockpile uranium. And that's huge, because you can't just take one piece of uranium, enrich it to 90% and use it to build a nuclear weapon. You need lots of uranium, and you have to enrich it all and get it there. And so them not stockpiling it means they can't obtain or build nuclear weapons because they don't have enough of a stockpile. That's a huge concession, if true, because you never know really what's coming out of the Middle East.
Right.
Right?
Do you trust, well, I mean, I'm asking you folks, with what certainty would you believe that a Middle Eastern country would actually adhere to a treaty? I mean, I think they would look you right in the face and just lie to you, because, and it's not just a judgmental comment on my part, because in the Islamic world, it's okay to lie to your enemy. It's in the Quran, you can mislead your enemy.
Well, we did that in the lead up to D-Day in World War II. I mean, that's just part of war.
Right. I don't disagree, but the key is to remember that we are at war with them all the time. Torn Bill says 0%. I agree 100%.
Qatar getting involved directly in the negotiations last week, and apparently they've seemed to move things further than Pakistan has been able to, because Pakistan, you'll recall, they presented 3 different peace plans and nobody had seen either one. Remember that?
Right.
They gave the U.S. a peace plan, they gave Iran a peace plan, and they had the original peace plan. And neither one of the ones were the ones that either one had agreed to. It was weird, but they were kind of caught.
Somehow Pakistan was going to be in charge of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Monty Hart says enemy or infidel, both.
But Qatar apparently in the middle of this now, and very close to a MOU. Now we're using memo of understandings. What is this? 2 school districts?
Right.
I mean, it's just weird. But apparently they're close to agreement on all 14 points of this MOU. And then what it would do is if they do agree to it, the U.S. and Iran, a 60-day ceasefire, more than what we're seeing now, because the U.S. this morning attacked some Iranian boats in the Strait of Hormuz because
I'll get to that.
Accuse them of laying mines. But anyway, if they agree to this, and this is all breaking, I'm just trying to figure this out as we're kind of going
it's
from what
live.
I'm reading this morning. But apparently a 60-day period will then happen where discussions will take place, serious discussions on the nuclear weapons.
Are we going to have casual discussions with Iran? I'm just trying to get a feel for why they clarify serious discussions. Aren't they all serious? What happened was the Iranians took some of their little boats, and they're little boats. It looks like a skeeter. It's got a machine gun on the front, which makes the boat kind of tip over. And they're running out into the bay, and apparently the U.S. took exception to that and sunk some of those boats, while saying in a clarifying statement, yes, we did sink a couple of those boats, but we're still operating under the ceasefire while maintaining the security of our assets in the area.
Yeah, it was.
So we're killing people and blowing up things, but only to protect ourselves. It's not Stephanie Connie. I couldn't agree more. It's another waste of 60 days. This is a deal I believe now, as much as I supported the president going into this, and as much as I still support the total annihilation of Iran, we are now in the saving face episode of this series. Donald Trump making it very apparent just this morning that he and Benji Netanyahu, he is certainly not Israel's puppet.
Yeah, we talked
Israel
about this
very
Friday.
upset that the U.S. is saying, we're going to back off, pump the brakes. We want to end this conflict. And Netanyahu saying, you must press on. You must press on. And Trump says, I ain't got to do nothing. I've done my part. They either need to step up and take over their own country. I applaud the president on this. We had 13 soldiers lost early in the conflict, and 2 months later, it's still 13. I think it's a great time to stop this.
Well, and I think Netanyahu getting mad at Trump just proves my point early on was Iran or Israel wanted this so they could continue to do what they're doing in the Middle East. Lebanon and Beirut and where they're bombing. And now they're mad because they don't have the auspices of Iran and that backdrop to keep bombing Hamas or Hezbollah, who is, funded by Iran. And so
but right now they can't fund Hezbollah because we've shut down their economy. Andy Rogovich says, something tells me we will be out of Iran just before the midterms. Yes, and President Trump alluding that there might be an extension of or a morphing of the Abraham Accords to include what's going on in the Middle East.
He wants all Middle East nations to sign the Abraham Accords.
Yeah, and if he does that, if he can come home and say we have peace in the Middle East for the first time in my lifetime.
Don't forget, I said that at the start of this thing too, that he started a war so he can end the war, so he can say that he was the peace broker. Right. In the Middle East.
Think of it as the healthcare crisis that the Democrats began to initiate Obamacare, and we know how that's worked out.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be just before the midterms. I'm thinking more like August.
Me too.
Yeah. I think at some point, summer travelers will see relief, although West Texas Intermediate at $91 a barrel yesterday. I don't know where it's trading this morning. Down, I think 5 or 6%. We shouldn't be paying $4 a gallon based on where oil is, folks.
Torrin Bale says Cuba may get to vote in the midterms. I think, it's funny how people, and by the way, nobody in the history of the world has been more of a victim of the minutia of the law than Donald J. Trump. So Trump finding a way we're going to go arrest this guy because we're charging him with murder. And those types of things. Yes, I think Cuba is going to be absorbed here before too long. And I have no problem with it. It's in our national interest. It's 90 miles offshore. And in theory, there could be nuclear weapons there. So, yes, we will go take over Cuba, in the words of JFK.
Yeah. Crude oil went up a little bit today after those strikes on the U.S. or on the Iranian ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So there you go.
People have a hard time wrapping their head around the fact that while all this stuff is going on in the Middle East, at least it's not going on here. I can remember my dad telling me, well, it's a lot better to fight them over there than to fight them over here. I agree 100%. I want you to just kind of squint and picture a tank rolling down Navarro and its tread just tearing up the asphalt as it goes. War is expensive. Much better to do it over there than over here.
Andrew Albert says he'd love to take over Cuba so we can get good cigars again. Just go to Canada. They sell them there.
Right?
Stick a couple in your shoes.
You've got to go to Canada. Then, it's like $900 for an $18 cigar. But you get free health care. True.
If you can get into a doctor.
Let's take a break. USA Foundation Repair, 578 Home. Charlie Garcia can come out. The way that your sidewalks kind of like started to droop and it's got a crack. He can put a foam under there, raise that right up, seal it.
No more trip hazards.
Easy, man. It's an easy deal and it's not expensive. Call USA Foundation Repair, 578 Home. Veracruz Restaurant welcoming you back in today. The best queso, the creamiest guacamole, the freshest hot sauce and homemade chicken
fried steak,
homemade flour tortillas. Reach out and see Veracruz.
I think they were a little offended the other day when we were there and nobody wanted the tortillas.
No, she kept saying, I've got the tortilla. No,
everybody's trying to eat clean.
Well, Dawn, if Dawn's there, Dawn's got a spy in my midst. I can't have a flour tortilla. Allen's Wrecker Service.
The test.
578-6300. Allen's, your go-to toe-to. Watch out. The roads have been wet. The roads have been slick. Now you could slide on a film of mosquitoes. Be careful. Dial 578-6300. Went services for all your electrical needs, period. But especially if you want a whole house generator. American-made Generac generators made right here in Wisconsin by Cheeseheads that you can leave and go to work, come home, and it will be installed. Propane, natural gas,
all the connections
diesel,
you need.
Anything you need done. Paravita Wellness. Get in and get healthy. Let Erica Briggs help you and your entire family get gluten-free, off all preservatives, low carb, high protein. She can do it all.
I saw a lot of people posting pictures of eating at the Vita Cafe for brunch this
Oh,
weekend.
it's great. So, Vita Cafe, and the weather's right. You
Yeah.
get over there at 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, have your little brunch.
Yeah, before it heats up, sit outside, enjoy it.
Do it.
Awesome.
Get over there.
Awesome. Let's see what else is happening.
Well, we haven't said this yet, but I hope that you had a reflective and appreciative Memorial Day. I did my best. Now, I'm going to claim it's okay. I can take the heat. You can put me down over this. I woke up at 8:30 yesterday morning in somewhat of a panic. I called Junior, and he was doing some things, and I said, okay. So I ran down to the square thinking I would probably get there late for some type of a wreath presentation, or nobody there. I found out later from Kenneth Sexton, commissioner, who was at the courthouse, that now I don't know if he was just putting in, extra work, or if he had forgotten that there wasn't going to be a commissioner's court. I don't know.
Forgot it was a vacation.
But I went to the square, and he said, I saw some guys over there about 8. And then he called me again about 9 and said, there's people milling around the square now. So I think they did something on the square about 10 o'clock.
Square did something at 10:30.
I went over to Parkway to the Field of Honor, and it looked beautiful, but there was nobody there either.
Last night.
So I went home. Yeah. But I thought about it. I did watch the president speak, and he recognized some Medal of Honor recipients that were at the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. If you're ever in D.C. and have the opportunity to go to Arlington, it is a very humbling and beautiful, beautiful place. I've never been anywhere. I've been lots of places where people should be reverent, should be quiet, and there's always that one guy.
Yeah.
I've never seen that person at Arlington.
Well, he'll get thrown out.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, when they come out to do the changing of the guard, they don't say, we'd appreciate it if. They say things like, you may take pictures, you will remain standing. It is a very military.
And you will be quiet.
And you will be quiet.
Yeah, otherwise, you're going to get a bayonet.
They will come over to you with a rifle and say, you want to have a protest here? Let's do it right now.
Yeah. So Pope Leo weighing in on AI.
I come out with a big who cares, but I'm sure there's an answer.
Saying that it must not remain in the hands of a few. He basically said this is like biblical. I don't quite get it. But it's amazing how the ramp up for data centers kind of coincided with the UN last week coming out and saying, well, all our prognostications for impending doom and climate change were wrong. And now they're trying to walk it back. They're not just saying, this was built on faulty modeling, which we said it was, because garbage in, garbage out. But they were saying that this was based on the proliferation of, I believe, coal mines still being used at the rate that they were 30 years ago into 2100. And I mean, whatever. But
right, coal has really gone down.
Well, I think it's steady because China.
Because of China. You're right, because China has ramped up while everybody else has gone down. But they found ways to scrub coal, and then coal is a much cleaner fuel.
Yeah.
Again, until the world wants to get serious and burn natural gas to make electricity, or utilize safe, clean nuclear energy, then they're not serious about it. They're not serious about solving the problem that they believe exists.
No, and Europe, I mean, all you have to do is look to Europe, who were the leaders of the climate change alarmists, and they won't do anything to address their energy woes. People are going broke in Germany paying for their heating bills and they can't get an air conditioner. So
that's right. Torrin Bale says climate and COVID, they're both scare tactics. Absolutely.
Yeah. More people die in Europe from heat-related issues every summer than in this country from guns.
Be small. Yeah, 70 million people, 70,000 people a year die from heat in Europe. 50,000 people a year die in the U.S. from gunshots. 65% of them, that would be 32,500, die from self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Suicides, yep.
Yeah, so there you have it.
But they lump those numbers in to keep you in fear.
Got to be in fear of the gun. Control. It's the gun that does it.
Yeah. No. So
yes, I bought this shirt. Be small. This is a classic shirt. I've got it in white as well.
Yeah. 4 in a row. Be small. 4 in a row.
4 in a row. Rangers suck.
Hawaii all West sucks.
Yeah.
But we already talked about that. You can watch that.
Yeah, go back and rewind.
Go back to sleep.
Rena said next, and that's the direction we are going towards next.
So, but it's
one died from seeing this shirt. He committed suicide after seeing this shirt. He was a Rangers fan.
But I just think it's
Pope Leo sees AI as a holy matter.
Coincidental though that all of a sudden, well, maybe the climate's not as bad or we're not heading where we were because data centers are blooming. And who owns all the data centers? The same people that were pushing all the propaganda that climate change was going to destroy this world and we were going to see seas rise and countries underwater.
In other news, the Catholic Church announcing it will build a data center. No, when we have what we call a slow news Tuesday, the Pope is having a slow sin spring. He's got to find something to talk about because the papal has to remain relevant. So we're going to talk about data centers and a holy deal.
The same folks that pushed all the climate fear and climate and global warming, call it what it is, global warming. I mean, Al Gore last week says, well, now we're heading to an ice age.
Oh, Al Gore's still a buffoon.
But all these same people, the Metas, the Googles, all the ones that restricted
the Rockefellers,
the Roosevelts, the Astors, the Morgans,
the Googles, the Walmarts. BJ Nelson says, good morning from Lake McQueenie. Good morning, ma'am. I want to give you folks
they all want the data centers, the same people.
Character moment. The other day, dash cam on a white trash services truck. Are we going to bill her for this?
Maybe.
Okay. White trash services truck showed one of their drivers. I got the feeling kind of like totally unbeknownst to him. It didn't really cross his mind, but he was driving down a road and saw an American flag laying in a pasture and went out, and the camera captures him kind of off to the right because the camera's facing forward. But he picked up that flag and folded it neatly,
properly,
and then went and put it off the ground over on the owner's property. I was very proud to see that.
Nice.
And
Rick Monday was the name of the driver.
So, right. Remember when Rick Monday did that in the baseball game? Somebody yelled out about, hey, that's just it's good character. I say that the rank and file reflect leadership, and hats off to the Nelsons for running that type of company. What else you got? Give me a would you take?
Let's see, what else do I got? Would you take daylight savings time all year long? President Trump last week decided that weighed in on this because there's a push. British Columbia in Canada, Alberta also in Canada have vowed to go to permanent daylight savings time. They don't need parliamentary approval to do it, apparently. But down here, a state could say we want to stay on daylight savings time, but you need congressional approval in order to do it. Well, the president weighing in and saying, you know what, we need to stop this nonsense of change. And I don't get affected by it that much. I used to like it every fall when 2:00 would hit and the bars would stay open for another hour.
Wow. That's very Canadian.
Nowadays, I'm asleep either way.
Right. It doesn't matter. They're always open till 9 when we go home.
Exactly. But
is that a big deal?
And I guess a bill that would make daylight savings time permanent, or daylight savings, not savings, saving time permanent, advanced 48-1.
Okay, I have a dumb
House
question.
Energy and Commerce Committee vote right before the weekend.
Are we under daylight saving time now?
Yes.
Okay, I personally would rather come down here and do the show in the dark and have my evenings at home open to more sunlight.
which I think we're having right now, right?
Is that what are we under daylight saving time now, or are we
Yes.
under normal time?
Daylight saving time.
Okay,
Central
I like that
daylight
too.
time.
I have no problem making that the permanent timekeeper. Yeah. Bruce Wood says Mexico got rid of it 3 years ago. There you go. I don't know. Wait, what did Christy Thurman always says good stuff. Totally off the subject.
Oh,
that fits today.
Yeah.
Why do Canadians pronounce their O's as Was watching Sean James Self-Reliance YouTube channel, and his only Canadian exposure was when he pronounced the O.
I don't know.
You say a boot?
Well, because
talking about.
Well, yeah, because a lot of words in Canada still have the U after the O. Color, favor, flavor,
a.
So
When
I don't know
like
why,
that.
but
Favorite a
boot.
Yeah, a boot.
We
We were oot in a boot.
Yeah, it's not that bad. We're out and about in a boat.
Out and about in a boat.
Yeah, see, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
But I don't know why. Regional. It's all regional. So I don't know. Will you guys weigh in? Monty Howard says, why not just go to standard time? I agree, because daylight saving time was just a construct of, and they tried to, and it really had nothing to do with the farmers. That's the folklore. It wasn't to give them more time in the evenings, because most farmers back in the day,
they were doing.
They were up in the morning.
Yeah, they want the sunlight in the morning.
Yeah, they got mad when you switched to daylight saving time originally, because you took away the early morning hours from them.
They wanted the kids to be able to get up and do their chores on the farm in the daylight, feed the chickens and, milk the cows, and then go to school. But that's a misnomer, you're saying. It's not actually.
No, I think it had more to do with the war, but I could be wrong too.
So what now is standard time is where we were?
Yes.
So somebody said, why not make it that way and change? So what are you saying there? You would go, instead of being open 8 to 5, you would go back to standard time and make the hours 9 to 6?
Well, it'd still be 8 to 5. It would just, we would be where we are before daylight saving time in March.
So then what we can pretty much agree on is it doesn't matter. Just pick one and
pick one and leave it. Yep. I don't know that daylight saving time.
There you go. Bruce Wood says he believes it was for natural light that was used in factories.
I think during the war, if I'm not mistaken.
May actually be the case.
They wanted a blackout in case the Germans bombed us after they bombed Pearl Harbor.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Absolutely.
I say that. Monty Howard says 7 to 4. Are you kidding me? Well, it doesn't matter. I work 10 to 2 anyway, so I don't care. Just put the clock whenever you want. Somebody said we should go to a 4-day work week. I said, I'm not working another day for anybody. That ain't happening. I like Mondays off. I think that like every third week you should have a 3-day weekend.
Marina and I were talking about this, and here's my proposal. And you and I can start this movement. This past weekend, Memorial Day.
That's May.
That's May. The unofficial start to summer, because actually summer solstice doesn't start for another 3 weeks or so. But
June's got Father's Day.
And Juneteenth, and actual,
like I said, June's got Father's Day.
An actual federal holiday where you could get the day off.
Right.
July's got July 4th, Independence Day.
Appropriately so.
Then there's
250th.
Then there's nothing till Labor Day. So I'm saying the first Monday of August.
First Monday of August.
So it's a long weekend.
I like where your head's at.
Trump Day.
Trump Day.
We got Trump phones.
Trump watches.
Trump watches. We got the Trump ballroom. Let's just have another long weekend in August. It's make it a federal holiday.
Trump Day.
The first Monday in August is Trump Day. And to sacrifice for the good of the country,
I'm in.
You and I will be the only two to take the first Monday
off. We're
off
taking that first Monday
as a federal
August
holiday,
off.
and we're in honor of Trump Day. I think it makes perfect sense.
At no expense to the taxpayer. BJ Nelson says, I guess desk folks would be okay with a 4-day work, but we need 5 days to pick up all the trash. That'd be my next
with daylight saving time, BJ, you got an extra hour of light, so you could be out there every day. You get half a day, and if you work the next, add an extra hour to the day every day.
What if
Trump Day? I'm
sincere
calling it right
question.
now. That would do better That would probably win the midterms for the Republicans.
Trump
if
Day.
we voted for an extra long weekend in August so that there's one every month in the summer, and it's Trump Day.
Jennifer
I'm all
Rayburn
over.
says, I'd prefer a Friday over a Monday. Payroll submissions take time to process
Well,
and post.
And here's the better part. If you're a registered Republican, you get Trump Day off.
But if you're a Democrat, you have to work.
If you're an independent, you get half a day off.
Half a day.
But the afternoon. So it really screws up your whole day. You can sleep in, but you can't really do anything because
Right.
you got to be at work at 1:00 in the afternoon. Whereas if we gave you if we gave you the afternoon off, it wouldn't be a problem. And if you're a registered Democrat, no day off. You got to work.
You've got to work, which means a lot of Democrats would have to get a job.
Or actually go to work for the first time because you got to cover for all the Republicans that have been working.
True story.
So
I like it.
Ricky King's already in too. He's going
Absolutely.
to take the day off too.
Speaking of the chopping block, never a day off.
No.
In fact, I went by there yesterday and picked up some seasoning to put on some ribs. Chopping block for all the freshest beef. They have chicken. They have wrapped vegetables. They have boudin sausage, breakfast sausage in like 3 different iterations. The chopping block is a great spot for you to get all your meat. Chesnick Furniture, inviting you to come in. They have patio furniture available.
Yeah,
you can get backyard surrounding your pool furniture.
Adirondack chairs are
Absolutely.
they're so comfy, to be honest. They really
Yeah.
are.
Get by Chesnick and see why you just always do better at Chesnick. Bobby Leon and his family are there to help you. Junior Sample says if you're a commie, you work Trump Day for free.
I like that.
Yeah, for the collective.
Yep.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Get into Palace Bingo and play games of fun. It's mindless entertainment. The food is great. Go by the L&L Grill and you will enjoy your time at Palace Bingo.
Last Wednesday, yeah, we'll do it on a Thursday again. And
Helping
we'll do it on a
7
Wednesday.
local charities. So welcome back to the studio, the Atzenhofer studio.
How about this Democrat idiot up in the San Antonio area? Maureen Galindo, running for House District 35. Apparently last week, said that she would put billionaire American Zionists involved in trafficking into internment camps, basically.
What did they do wrong?
Well, they're billionaires,
Okay.
but nothing. She would just round them up and put them into internment camps.
Mom Donnie chatting up the fact that he got Bezos to pay $9 million in fees, which, by the way, if the fees are legal and imposed, Bezos ought to pay them. I think they leave their Amazon vehicles running, and the pollution in New York has been a concern. And apparently there was legislation that said he had to pay a fine.
I didn't realize. How do they leave them when they're dropping packages? I thought they
think
turned
so.
them off. UPS always stops their trucks.
There you go. But
I
at
think
any
that's-
rate,
isn't that worse for diesel engines and stopping and starting them all the time?
I think it is bad to stop him and start him. But he did say something along the lines of it that he collected this $9 million, which is really nothing when Governor Hochul gave him $4 billion last week. And then he chatted up that he had balanced the budget in New York City. Those communists, socialists, they just take from each other. It's like, where's the P? They just move the money around. There's no real logic. There's certainly no accountability. People are now saying that Mom Donnie should be allowed to run for president and would be the first naturalized citizen to ever be elected. I hope that the Dems run Cam the Slam and her personal bartender, AOC. I hope they run those 2 mindless women.
I don't remember who it was last week. Wants to, I think maybe it was Nancy Mace, put forth a bill that would disallow any naturalized citizen from running for federal office of any sort or a federal judge.
It's just an Ilhan Omar bill.
More or less. So basically, I could never run for Congress.
I don't have a problem with that. You would sacrifice that for the team, wouldn't you?
I think I'd be a pretty good congressman if we didn't have Michael Cloud.
Thank God for Michael Cloud.
Thank God. Keeps me out of the ring.
You might be a little too progressive for me. I need you to lean a little further to the right. It's like calling Goebbels a humanitarian, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're too soft.
Too soft on things. So
Yeah.
I'll probably become more libertarian as I get older.
Yep. Folks, today,
Get off
go
the lawn,
vote.
government.
If you haven't voted, right? Today's the day, isn't so?
Today
Yes.
is the day. Yep.
Go vote.
Yeah. I think you need a constitutional amendment for non-citizens.
The
or
left would be
naturalized
all
citizens to
over
run
it. The
for that.
left would be all over it.
Oh, they'd be all over it.
Would Mamdani beat Elon Musk in a race? He might.
I don't know. He does. Elon's kids might be enough to get him the vote.
Wow. Yeah, he is a prolific breeder, this Elon
If they
Musk.
all like him, I don't know. A bunch of his kids might hate him.
You put 3 commas in your income and your kids like you. Sure. When there's 3 commas in there, they like you.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, somewhere between that second and third comma, love blooms.
The FIFA World Cup begins in a couple of weeks, and apparently Harris County officials are preparing worst case scenarios. They're doing a bunch of tabletop drills and things like that. Cyber attacks, hurricanes, and Ebola.
Oh, yeah, it's a big deal. San Marcos, Texas State University is adding 2 10-story residence towers under its $280 million Hilltop Phase 2 project. So they're getting 2 10-story residence towers for almost as much as VISD is going to use to fix our air conditioners. 1,504 new beds and 563-seat dining hall.
They should just borrow some from A&M Victoria since they got a bunch of empty beds sitting there.
They've got tons of room. Send your kids to A&M Victoria. We have the room. The campus is built to handle 6,000 students. It's
563-seat dining hall as well.
That's nice.
I'll be honest, of all the places that I've been on college campuses, the dining services at Texas State were the worst I've ever had at any college campus ever.
Did you see that? I'm always curious, like the words they use. It says the jaguarundi is a small otter-faced wildcat. Hasn't been officially confirmed in Texas since 1986, an 86 sighting in Brownsville. Yet hikers keep reporting glimpses near the Rio Grande. So isn't that a sighting? I mean, what do you have to kill it and confirm that that's what it is?
I think they don't take that seriously because you're not, you don't know what a jaguarundi is. How do you know?
We know what a chupacabra is.
Yeah. Well, and here's what they say about it. Well, that's because people often mistake them for house cats. You're hiking
in the nowhere,
and it's a house cat. Come on.
But it's about the size of a house cat. It can weigh about 15 pounds. It's got a longer tail than a domestic cat. They're not sure if the jaguarundi ever actually lived in Texas or if Texas was just at the edge of their territory.
They crossed the border illegally.
And every now and then they would cross the border illegally, have their kittens here, and then they became Americans.
Yeah. Then they became American cats.
Do you have a problem with getting rid of birthright citizenship? Do you believe
we're one of the, I mean, it doesn't happen.
The people that complain about it don't allow it in their own countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, only the U.S. should do it, right?
Does Mexico do that? If I go over to Mexico, does my kid get dual citizenship?
I don't think so, no.
Right. Okay.
I don't think so, no.
But when they come over here, they're automatically American and automatically on the American teat. It's not good.
Austin City Council approving the purchase of 50 acres of parkland along Onion Creek for about $13 million to basically preserve it as green space and open space so that the people there can get out of the urban jungle.
Right. It's probably also plain, but you're paying a lot of money. 50 acres, 13 million.
Yeah.
Man.
Ooh, this could be good. What is this on? Is this on the flyover?
What is it telling you?
Where in Texas was the first film to win the Academy Award for Best
Wouldn't that have been
shot?
Giant, and wasn't it filmed out in Marble
Alpine
what's it called?
area?
Yeah, somewhere like
Marfa?
that. Marfa, is that it? Let's see the answer.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Wings, a 1927 silent film about 2 World War I combat pilots, was filmed at Kelly Field in San Antonio.
Had no idea.
Clara Bow, Charles Buddy Rogers. There you go.
There you go.
I had no idea.
Greece doesn't allow birthright citizenship, but you can buy it for 250,000
right
euros. Drachma?
Right.
I don't know.
Yes,
So-
I agreed, BJ. I thought it was Marfa. I thought we were talking about giant.
No, I guess it was not. It was wings. Who knew?
Yeah.
I like that feature. We might have to figure if they do that every day now.
Do our trivia of the day.
Yeah, I've never noticed that, and I get the flyover.
That was on the flyover?
Yeah, it was on their newsletter I get every day. So,
folks,
there we go.
The top of the hour. I want to thank you again for tuning into the Adsonarver studio. Thanks again to AT Deerland Feed. I'm telling you, I put the fertilizer down last week, the day I told you. We left for 2 days. Saturday, came back on Sunday afternoon. And I'm telling you, my grass was a noticeable, like blue-green color. And it's just the best fertilizer on the planet. It's time to put it down right now. Go have a great week. Remember, you've only got 4 days to do what you used to do in 5.
join us in the Trump Day movement, folks.
Amen. Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.